Morning, Nick.
Morning.
How is everyone this morning?
Good. Good as can be. Oh, Eli, a quick question before we start.
Yeah, sure.
See, for learning the second, third of the Yang Lu Chan, what's the number of the videos to get? Or is it the volumes?
I'd go for 405 and 406.
405 and 406. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll cover the basics really well.
Yeah. Yeah, I was looking yesterday, but I wasn't sure what the volumes were. And like, if you had two volumes for certain things.
Yeah, the whole second third is covered over those two volumes. First third's on the 404, so 405 and 6 is the second third, and then 7 and 8, 407, 408 is the third.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Make a start on that.
Yeah, no, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Add into your system. Excellent.
Cool.
Marianne's here. I always love it when Marianne comes to my classes.
Thank you.
Marianne's been coming to my classes since before I was doing classes. Since I was Dad's assistant class teacher.
Yeah. Two times your Earl was in Holland.
Yeah.
I had, yeah. The first one and the second one, it was already with you and your brother.
Yeah, that's right.
And your sister was there.
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah,
they still come along occasionally. They'll come along to some of my workshops and join in. So that they don't do it full time like I do. But if there's a workshop on near where they live, like last year I did a workshop here in Cardiff for a full week. And so Ben came up and trained that whole workshop with me. Okay. And if I do one out in Australia that's near where Catalina lives, she'll come and join in.
That's nice. Yeah.
That's right. All right. Wow, Manuel's got a big training space.
Yeah, it's not at home.
Yeah, I guessed. That's fantastic. We could do the Bagua pole form in there.
Yeah, it's in a gym close by, and usually in the morning no one is here. So.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, well, maybe someone will come in the background and go, "Oh, what's that? Can I join in?"
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right, let's get moving, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's start off with a gentle spine movement. Bend your knees. Start opening up your spine. So you're pushing your chest forward, tilting your pelvis down so your bum sticks out. Looking up, pulling your elbows back, squeezing your shoulder blades back and down, and then pushing your palms back to engage your external rotator cuff muscles. And then breathe out and do all of that in reverse. So tuck yourself in, curl up into a ball. And then open it up on the in-breath. And close it up on the out-breath. In-breath. Out-breath. In-breath. Out breath. In breath. Out breath. Straighten up your body, neutralize. Hinge forward from your hips. Sink down, a little bit of a stretch through your hamstrings, just opening up through here. Relax your spine so it hangs down. Then straighten your spine and relax your spine. Straighten your spine and relax your spine. Keep it going. In breath on the way up. Out breath on the way down. In breath on the way up. Make sure your glutes are engaging, your bum. And then roll your spine up. Back to the top. Take your hands out to the sides, lifting them back. So pinching the shoulder blades back as you're lifting them up. Breathing in, standing onto the balls of your feet. Stretching up as high as you can. And then breathe out down through the front. Breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in. Really try to stretch up, 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 up as high as you can. Chest is coming up as well. Eyes are looking up. But your pelvis is still tucked under. So we're not tilting the lower pelvis down. We're not sticking your bum out with this one. Keeping your structure tucked in. Relax. Open, close again. Stick your bum out, look up, chest out, shoulders and elbows back. Close it up, curl into a ball. Breathing in, opening up. Breathing out, closing it in. Breathing in, opening it up. Breathing out, closing in. Link your fingers. Breathing in. Push them away from you. Breathe out, curl into a ball. Lean forward with a straight spine. So hinging forward from the hips, breathing in. And breathing out. Lifting those palms up as high as you can. Then breathe in again and straighten up. When you breathe out, make like you're sliding your elbows and palms on the wall behind you, all the way down. And relax. Again, link your fingers, breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in, hinge forward from the hips, straighten your spine, lift your palms up as high as you can. So really feeling your shoulder blades squeezing down at the back. Breathing out, then breathing in, coming up. And again, sliding your hands down the wall behind you. One more, breathe in. Breathe out, bending the knees, hinging forward, breathing in, straightening the spine, lifting up the palms. Breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out, sliding the palms down behind you. One more opening and closing. In breath. Out breath. In breath. Out breath. In breath. Out breath. In breath. Out breath. Go into that closed position. Really close your body in as much as you can. So tuck that pelvis under, round your body into that position. And then just kind of push into one side and the other. So you're curled up and you're just going to see how I'm lifting one hip up. So I'm stretching through here and then lift the other side up. So I'm just kind of tilting from one side to the other whilst I'm in that forwardly compressed position. Just tilting your body one side to the other. You'll feel that sort of opening stretch come into one side and then back into the other side, and then bring it up back to straight. Hinge block across your body, like so. Internally rotating the shoulder. Bring your arm over your head. So you brush your hair back with your elbow, not your palm, like this. I mean, you may not be able to do that, so just get it as, you know, if you can get here, that's okay. If you can get here, that's better. If you can get here, that's even better again. So try to get so that you feel your ear getting brushed by your biceps here. See, as you bring it back, notice I'm keeping my elbow back also. I'm not letting my elbow go to the front. I'm keeping my elbow pushed back. So I'm really engaging all these stabilization muscles around the scapula, like so. Then I brush the back of my head with my palm as my hand comes out to the side, but my elbow is still back. Never am I letting my elbow go forward. I'm keeping my elbow back like someone's got me in a half Nelson. Okay, then from that position, I'm still internally rotated. I'm going to bring it around, boom, externally rotate the arm. See, I'm rotating it over like so to there. Then I relax that arm and bring in the other hand. Again, internally rotate the arm here. One, bring it up. Same thing, open it back, slide it over your head, pushing that elbow back, really stretching through here. And then when you release it off the side of your head, it externally rotates. When you externally rotate that arm, twist it over, like as far as you can. It's not just sort of relaxed here. You're twisting it over. You're trying to open up all the joints, get as much range of motion as you can manage. Again, twist that in, bring it over. Notice I'm slightly tilting, so I'm stretching through this side as I bring that over. Then I'm leaning backwards just a little bit as I bring the hand open, so I'm keeping a strong core here. And then relaxing down. So the body's coming back to the front as the hand is turned over. Bring this one through. Over and down. In breath here. Hold the breath as you lean back and then release the breath as you strike to the front. The weight is in your same leg, hand and same leg here when I come up. Spin it around and back to the front. So you switch it to the same leg. So you start in the same leg, like so. You start in the same leg. But when you do the hinge, you push it to the opposite leg. So opposite hand and leg when I'm doing the hinge motion. When I'm leaning over, So my weight is over here, you see. Now when I do the final movement, I'm in the same leg as the hand I'm using. So then there's a little shift back, you see. So now I can come in again, like the second movement of the Yang Lu Chan form, that sort of front weighted lower hinge block. In breath, out breath. In breath. Let's get some flow happening now. So still getting that full maximum range of motion happening as you're doing the movements, but just flowing a little bit quicker. Keeping your breathing happening. Okay, into a lunge. Just a gentle lunge like a bow stance. Your rear heel is off the ground. Wriggle. Twist into your front leg. Get this rear leg to sort of stretch and open up through the hip flexors. Press into the floor with that rear foot, so press your heel down. Flex your foot up onto the toe, moving that ankle around all of its motions. Front leg is just giving and receiving, going up and down, open and closing. Just wriggling your body around in that stance, just getting some heat coming through your legs. Switch sides, again, same thing. Just wriggle around, make sure that rear ankle is moving through all its ranges of motion. You can even tilt it all the way over onto the back, so it's really pressing into the ground, stretching through the front of the ankle. Opening, closing the hips, feeling that hip flexor at the rear. Okay, a little bit more just to warm the legs up. We're not going to do anything too strenuous in the warm-up. We're just going to keep it to a warm-up as opposed to a strength development this morning, because after this class, I'm going to do a half-hour strength and mobility session. So if you want to stay for more strength training, you can stay for that session today. Okay, standing on one leg, like so. Just bring your leg up to the side, so close it in, like so, as far as you can. Close that hip in as far as you can. Lift it up, open it out, and drop it down. Make a nice circle with your hip. Keep it going. Of course, you can put your foot down in the middle if you wish to regain your balance. But if your balance is getting better, you can just keep that movement going. And how high you lift your leg, that's of course completely up to you. Just lift it as high as what is able without stressing yourself out too much and pulling a muscle. So remember, you've got to find that balance between being too lazy or pushing yourself so hard that you pull a muscle. So,
I'm lazy.
other leg. Again, lift it up to the closed side. Open it out. Bring it back down. Touch the foot. Lift it up to the closed side. Bring it around. If you can, don't touch the foot. Just keep it going. Lift it up high if you can. Relax. Exactly the same thing back on the other side now. The only difference is, I shouldn't have said exactly because it's not exactly. You're going to go the reverse direction now. So shift your weight back to the other leg, open your hip out, lift it up to the side, bring it over and down, brushing your own leg. Okay, again, you can touch your foot on the ground if you wish, or you can keep it off the ground like so. If your balance is really bad at the moment, requires a lot of practice, and you can't even get one round, then feel free to hold on to something. At least then you get the strengthening aspect of your hips, all these muscles around your hips, the opening, the mobility and all of that, but you're not having to worry about the balance by holding on to something. Just like a ballerina would when they're first starting out. So open that up, lift it up, bring it in and down. Lift it up, bring it in and down. Okay, let's stretch down into the floor just for a moment. So we're going to sink down, hinging from the hips. Place your palms on the floor. Bend your knees as much as you need to get yourself down there. Walk forward gently. If you can, keep your knees off the ground, but if you find it's too much pressure, drop your knees already onto the floor and then keep walking with your knees on the floor. Just coming into a front plank position. Like so. Tucking your pelvis under. So you're not holding your bum up in the air like this. You're trying to get your body nice and straight. You're not sticking your bum out. You're tucking your pelvis under and you're getting your shoulders over your palms. Head nice and straight with your spine. Drop your knees if you haven't already. Now from this position, we're going to do the same movement we were doing to begin with, the opening and closing of the spine, just from a different aspect now. So stick your bum out, push your chest down, look up, and then reverse it, curl up into a ball. Open it up. Close it up, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, and on that in breath with your tailbone sticking up, pelvis rotated down, wag your tail. So you're just pulling your hip up to one side, lifting your left hip, lifting your right hip. When I say lifting, I mean like towards your shoulder, because we're obviously down at 90 degrees now. So it's lifting. If I was standing upright, it'd be lifting the hip. So just wriggling your bum at the back there. As I say, wagging your tail, but with your bum, because we can't actually move our tails independently of our body. And then bring it back into a closed position. Now try this one. This is really nice. From this position, you've got weight on your palms. You're tucking everything in. Head down, pelvis under, chest closed, chest concave, pushing up into your shoulders. You're going to do the same thing we've just been doing, but in a circular motion. So from the closed position, instead of going straight to the open position, you're going to push your body out to one side, you see? See, my head's going one way, my chest, my rib cage is going the other way. Then drop it down, look up, stick your bum out at the back, and then push the chest to the other side as your head goes the other way. And then head goes down, chest hollows out. So you're just circling your chest by moving your spine And your head is always moving in the opposite direction to where your chest is going. And then neutralize, go back the other way.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, we'll do one more down here to get the lower back really warmed up. I haven't done this one for a while. In fact, I'm not sure if I've done it since we started these. Maybe I have done it since we started these new classes this month. But this is one of my favorite lower back glute warm-up exercises. Not just that. That's actually a good one too. Just massaging and circling your palms around your lower back. That brings in a lot of heat into your lower back. That's a nice one. Anyway, coming back into that all fours position, all you're going to do is follow me along. You're going to lift your knee directly out to the side like a dog taking a wee, a male dog taking a wee. Okay, so lift that up as high as you can. You might not get it to full 90 degrees, but just lift it as high as you can. The knee is still in line with the body. I'm not pushing it to the rear. I'm not bringing it up to the front. I'm lifting it directly out to the side, keeping the knee bent at 90 degrees. Then I'm dropping it back down, switching my weight to the other side and lifting up the other side. Okay, holding it there for a moment and then bringing it back down. So there's a little pause at that top position. Whatever is the top position for you, however high you can get it, hold it in that position. Hold it in that position and drop it down. Just keep it going. Little pause at the top each time. And then relax. Just sit back on your feet to stretch your ankles out while we have a little rest. And then if we're going to do a next version of that technique, it's not necessarily harder, it's just working different muscles. So have a go at it, see if you can manage it. And again, with all of this, as high, as extended as you can manage. You might not get into the full position that I'm in, but as long as you're sort of getting close to it, or in that direction, then you should be using the same muscles and warming up the same area of the body. So, forward. This time we're going to lift out exactly the same, but from that position we pause, then we extend the leg like you're kicking someone from the ground. Okay? Feeling your glutes engaged, feeling your lower back engaged, your hamstrings, flexing your foot so your heel is pushing out. Bring it back to where it was, then drop it down. Do the other side, lift it up, kick it out. So that kick is going directly in alignment, you see, with the standing leg, like so. Bring it back into where it was and drop it down. Make sure, let's go the other side again. Make sure when you bring it back in, particularly from here, keep it up. So up, 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 hold it up. Don't let it drop down. Don't let the knee drop down until the final section. So we're lifting up as high as you can. Same thing here. When you kick it out, don't drop your leg as you kick it out. Hold it up. Lift it up into the movement. Now think upward thoughts. Up, 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 up as you retract it in. Then let it down. Okay, again the other side. Up. Kick it out, bang, bring it in, and drop it down. Up, hold, extend, bring it back in, and down. Little opening and closing again to finish. So close your body up, breathing out. And then open your body up, breathing in. Breathe out, close up. Breathe in, open up. Okay, let's just open up the legs, stand up into a plank position, bring one leg to the front, so it's to the side of your palms. The foot is turned out 45 degrees so that the hip is open. Like so. You see, it's to the side of my body, pointed out this way. Okay, point your rear toe. So that rear toe is on the ground, like so, flexed down, and I'm just lengthening through that back leg. Moving around. Again, you might not be as low as me. You might have you might be up here, for example, because if you haven't got as much flexibility, that's fine. You're still using the same muscles. Just move around, and it's a moving stretch. Just wriggle through your body. Like when you wake up in the morning, you don't do static stretches, you move your body around when you first wake up in the morning, which is essentially what we've just done. Turn your body towards your standing leg and stretch in here. So you should feel a bit of an opening through that bottom hip, through the side of that bottom hip, and through the glutes here in the front. Back to the front section. Only if you're feeling okay with the movement, try to drop your elbows down to the ground. If you can't, then just sink as low as you can on your palms. This just gets into the hip a little bit more. Come back up, and then spin it around, so turn towards your standing leg. Good morning, darling. What are you doing? Would you like to join in? Come on then. Would you like to get behind me? Okay, so we're just stretching into this hamstring through here. Okay. Again, moving. I'm standing on the ball of the foot of this leg. You can do the whole thing with the foot flat on the ground as well, but you get a slightly different stretch when you do that. Also, a lot of people can't even do it. So we're doing this version for today. Bend that front leg here, and again, wriggle it around in the bent position. Then crawl your weight forward onto that front leg. Do the exact same thing on the other side. So point your rear toe, sink down through that leg, opening up that not the hamstrings, what are these ones called? Hip flexors. Turn your body towards that standing leg, really stretching through that lower side of your core, the right side of your core here, and the hip, feeling the stretch through here and through here. No, it's 7. Sorry, that was directed at my mum, not you. Okay, come back to the front. Sink down a little lower if you're able to. Then bring it back up, spring it around to the other side. Good morning, Gab. I love your hairstyle, Gabby. Again, just sinking down through this hamstring with the legs straight to begin with. Standing on that toe, moving around, wriggling, then bend the knee and continue the movement. Come to the middle, using your hands as much as you need to help stabilize the movement. Take a bit of weight off your legs. Feet are pointed out at 90 degrees here. And then just try and stand up. All right, let's do some Taiji formy stuff. What is the time? Okay, I've got my new clock now. I can tell the clock. I can tell the time now. I can now tell time. All right, we're going to do some small sound south flow now. All right, come on, darling, get in there. Okay, so we're just going to flow through the form to begin with. I'm going to be your mirror, okay? Okay, let's start the form that way. Okay, so you go that way. We're all going that way, mirroring me. What's up, Gabby? It's okay, Grandma will help you. What's up? What's up? She's got a little cut on her hand with a Band-Aid. She's going, Okay, let's try that again. Let's go this way. Here we go. Relatively slowly. Just getting some flow. Let's try the other side. So we're going this way now. Okay, a few tips and tricks for you. Let's have a look at the end for a change. The last movements in the form, the single whip section. A couple of things to do with those postures. Right, so let's start from the last one of these. Bang, we've done that move there. We'll do the whole thing, drilling it again left and right, but to break down the details, I'll just show it on one side and then we'll drill it both sides. So, we've done that one there. Hooking down, making a single whip hook. You're attacking here with this little, see that sort of little V shape, or A, upside down V, like there, that little bit. It's very, very strong in there when you crease it like that. It compresses all the joints in there, all the bones, and you can really break things using that. So you whack him on the elbow or the wrist with that, it can really damage his arm. So you're striking down, there, sort of out towards that corner. But the important thing to get with this one is that it's one movement, one continuous action. Unlike, for example, the previous movement where we went from here, this is 1, 2, 3. It is not, and it must not ever be, 1. You see that? That's like circling directly. You'll be punched or knocked off balance if you try to do it like that based on the correct application. If the other guy throws the incorrect punch for that technique, making it easier for you, then yes, you will be able to do that. And that's why some people think they can do the movement like that, because the other guy's throwing the wrong punch. Okay, so that's very important to understand in the small sensao, is exactly what type of punch should be thrown to make your partner doing the sensao learn the correct action. You can't just, oh yeah, whatever punch, you know, you got to adapt. Martial arts is all about adapting, isn't it? Yes, when you're sparring, not when you're trying to learn a specific technique. This is the same across all martial arts in the world. Look at boxers when they're doing their pad work, they're doing set drills. A lot of people don't realize they're doing set drills. You know, when they got the pads up and the coach is going ba 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 super fast, all this, and above it, and there's, wow, how can he possibly see that hand coming that quick and be it's a set drill. It's the same as us doing small sensao. It's a set pattern of movement to train their reflexes, to train their body movement before then, yeah, of course, they sometimes do some non-smooth things. That's why all martial artists always look so crisp and smooth when they're doing the training exercises. Then you put them in the ring, like that last Mike Tyson fight. Everyone was like, oh, Mike Tyson's going to knock him out and blah, blah, blah. No, I'm sorry, the guy's nearly 60 years old. You can't still fight a young man when you're 60 years old. It's just life. Anyway, when he was doing his bag work and his mitt training and all of that sort of stuff, everyone was like, whoa, Mike Tyson's still got it, you know, and I'm there like, yeah, but that's just mitt work. And you're seeing like a 3-second clip. Can he last round after round after round? Can his endurance last? And will his reflexes, all his perfect precision still be there when the other guy's punching him in the head? It's very different. So, yeah, mitt work, all of that stuff, all of what we're doing here, it's set pattern drill. So the other guy should be doing an exact set pattern, okay, the correct strike. So what's happening here is the punch is coming a bit more, it's still at the side, but it's a bit more straight line from the side. So this time we can, right leg forward, we can grab it, hook it down across the body in one motion. Look, you see? So we're catching that arm and bringing it across, as opposed to boom and then bringing it across. It's not two separate actions. It's one flowing movement. There's the strike. There's still boom, there's still a hit there, of course, but it's hit and roll. Here's an arm here, right? So she's throwing that punch. I'm going, wah, you see? I'm catching that arm. I don't want to hit this. This is the technique in the form, which you, like most of the techniques in the form, you can do pretty solidly without arm protection. This one here, especially when working with a smaller person, you can't do this hard, right into the elbow there with this little bony edge. It's just too much to get hit in there with anything more than a bump. So just be careful with that one. You'll notice I'm just doing it kind of gently when I do it. You put a big pad on your elbow there and then boom, then you can really smash the power in, even if you're working with someone smaller. You still do have to worry though, see what it does to the neck, even just done gently. So that person's really got to tuck their chin and have their structure, especially if the person doing the technique is bigger. Anyway, yeah, the punches come in there, you see how I'm curving my body even out of the way, rather than, and then it getting a bit stuck on my body. I'm going, what? I'm doing a bit of dragon prawn. This is called the dragon prawn method, where you go in at the waist so that whatever's coming past is not going to get trapped here, you see? You're going in at the waist, but keeping your hand forward, you see, to protect your head. We don't want to do a dragon prawn with both hands down, because then your head's all exposed. So, the other hand's forward. See here, while I'm doing this, look what I'm doing. I might potentially get a fingers in the eyes or palm under the nose or something there. And then, whoa. Then I get that nice little single whip punch coming down into the ribs. Thank you. So, back to this one again. Catch it somewhere around here at the corner, and bring it through. You'll notice the feet come together with this technique, not like the other ones where you pull it back to a parallel shoulder width stance. When you still swivel on that rear heel, but you bring your heel in and then step forward. Okay, so when you step forward, of course, you need to come back to a shoulder width stance, which means you'll be stepping out at an angle to the corner. Now I'm back to that shoulder width stance. So you've moved your body. You see, I'm here. Look where I finish. I'm over here now. So you're getting around the person. You're coming in from the side, you see? So catch that arm. Look at the left hand. The left hand is paramount here. You must get this left hand doing the right thing, or right hand, of course, if you're doing it the other side. So, the left hand just follows your center. When I'm dropping down, see it's in my center, right on my center here, as I'm turning to my left. As I catch and turn, the left hand comes off my center. The important thing here is that your hand does not stay with your center. Otherwise, you will not be covered. If I'm facing the camera right in front of the lens there, you can see when I drop it down, see, anything comes from that side because you're standing there. You're not standing over here, for example. So that's covering on that side. But when I turn to the other side, wouldn't make sense to keep this over here because now I'm all exposed from this side of my head. So your hand will be on your center when I'm dropping this hand down, but as I drag it across and turn my body, see, it's like the hand stays where it is and your center moves around it, you see? So you're still covering the same area, like so. Once again, like that. Then, of course, you just, the same thing happens. As I throw the strike, see, because my center's turning over there again, the hand, it retracts a little bit, but it sort of almost stays where it is as the center turns in, as you throw this punch out to the front. Okay, so let's try that. A little bit of drilling, thinking about that left hand and that sweeping through. So here we go. Okay. Once again, let's just do it the same side over and over. See, fingers to the front. And notice that punch, that hook punch, is not dead center. Again, sorry, if I just stand right in front of the lens there, it's not here. It's, you see, just slightly off center. Boom! Because that's where he would be standing, you see. See the circle on that punch. Now this circle can become smaller. You can get that to become much smaller. It almost starts looking like as if you're doing a straight punch. And there's just that little hook on the end, so it's less telegraphed. But do not do that in the beginning, otherwise you'll never learn how to do the punch. I've had people come to workshops and they've started off with this very, very small circle, been doing a small circle, been practicing the move for 3 years, and then I bring the pads out and they still can't do the punch because they haven't learned how to do the technique properly. We do it larger in the beginning to learn the technique properly. So your hand here from the low position, what? Bring it right up to about shoulder height, okay? Right up to shoulder height, and then throw it down, whoom, you see, and it's a follow-through method. There's no fa jing here, there's no snap back, nothing like that, no recoil. It is a follow-through method. Whoa. It circles back in, of course, but it's not bouncing back, you know, like a punch that kind of recoils back in. It's whoo, see, it's a whoa, going through the technique. The power point, just imagine like where your own ribs are, right? So at about that height in front of you, bah, that's where the apex of the movement is. So imagine that's where the power is coming out. Wah! And then the drop down part from there is just the follow through of the movement. Try it again. Bah. Okay, again. Look at the wrist. See that? So it's obviously down. It's a yin shape, like so. When it hooks down, comes up. But now look what happens when it goes forward. See that? It is exactly the same as if you were throwing a ball. You see? Hands yin back, your hand bends back yang, and then you throw. You get that little, all that body power that's transferring through to throw a ball is concentrated down, boom, onto that little whip of the wrist. Try throwing a ball like this and see how far it goes. You would think, like the body, right? The body is the main power source for anything. Look at all this body movement, body movement, body movement. But if you were to put a ball on your hand like that and throw a ball like a shot put or something, it wouldn't go very far at all because you're not concentrating all that power of your body down to the end. You're just using that. But when you whip your hand on the end of the movement, all that movement that you're creating by your body is concentrated down and whoom, penetrated into one small unit. So that's what we want to do when we're doing most strikes. You penetrate that power down into one small bit. So that's what's happening here. Catch it in, lift it up, let your hand go yang, and boom, snap it down. It's got to be in that yin position as it makes contact. Okay? Like so. Again. See where that left hand is again. See, it's right on my center now. I wouldn't have it out to this side of my center because I'm assuming he's there. That's where his body is. There's nothing that can happen over this side. So it's going to be across again. When I'm turned this way, again, see, it's outside my center now because now I'm open. So you've got to visualize where your opponent is to make sure your hand's staying in the right spot. Let's try that whole thing the reverse side now. So put your left foot forward. Like so. Hook it down. Notice the right hand now is on your center. As you hook it across, it's going to come off your center, covering to the front. And then, you're going to lift that left hand up to shoulder height as you step out at an angle. And then throw. Again, boom. Use that throwing action. And it's just off center again. Just a little bit off center. To the left, and this hand now is back on my center. Okay, switch your feet again, left foot forward, down, pull it in, throw it, boom. Switch feet, down, pull it in. See where the hand is? Keep it forward. And bah! You should hear, I don't think you'd be able to hear this on the microphone, but you know, that you can hear that. You can hear that sound going through the air. If you can hear that, you know you've got a nice throw. You're moving through the air, not, you know, some kind of controlled movement. Just, you can hear it much more obviously, of course, if you open your hand. You might even be able to hear that maybe. I don't know if the mic's picking that up or not, but it might. Whereas with the hand closed, of course, it doesn't catch as much wind, it catches as much air. So you won't hear it as much, but it's the same feeling. So if you do it with the open hand, oh yeah, that real throwing action, and then just put the hand, oh yeah, that's nice. You see you're getting that same action of the body happening. You're just concentrating it a bit more down into the knuckles rather than the whole open slapping palm. Try it again. Again. Right hand, right hand. See where the intent is. Look, even the eyes. See the eyes are slightly off center. They're not dead forward. They're here because that's where my opponent is. Bah! 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 Big circles, nice big circles. All right, let me just show you now what that, it's really good to envisage, and if you can, get someone to hold a pad for you at some point in your day. Got a pad here? Yeah. That'll do. Chuck that on your arm. Put it that way. And no, turn it up the other way. Yeah, you can hold it. No, sorry. I don't know what I'm doing. No, sorry, you were right. Okay, so you've got to hold the mitt at an angle, okay? Don't hold it flat up because it's not directly, you've got to always hold the mitt at the angle at which the strike is going at, okay? So this angle is kind of going down at 45 degrees, so hold the mitt like so, at an angle. Not fully up, not fully horizontal, like so. When you first try this technique, make sure your mitt holder, I mean this is a general rule throughout any strikes you're doing, don't get them to push in to your strike, okay? When I hit it, she lets it go. This is also for her own health, to not jar her own neck or shoulder. So just, that's it, just let the power go through when I hit it. The only exception to that is if you're doing lots of quick stuff and you can't have your hands going back. So at that point, then, you know, you should be trained well enough to hold your structure correctly and just tap in as they hit them so that the mitts don't fly away. But in the beginning, if you're just doing single shots, it's better for the mitt holder just to let it go. It's also better for me if I'm learning, especially with something like this, but even normal punches, you can still hurt your wrist if you do something wrong. So as I come in, wah, for that power, and she pushes into me, I can break my own wrist while I'm learning. So, but if that thing is just totally static and it's going to move away from me when I hit it, less chance of me hurting myself whilst I'm learning. So, as I say, that's about rib height, okay? So that's my own rib height. I lift the hand up, I throw it out with the yang hand, and then just as it's coming into contact, boom, I hit. And I'm hitting with the top two knuckles. That's the shape of the hook, like so. It's not pointed like it is in the form. That's different for totally different reasons. I won't go into details right now. But in the sansao, when you're doing it as a strike, notice how the fingers just tuck slightly, not a lot, just slightly into the thumb. Like it's essentially a fist, like you're holding an egg. Put an egg in your hand and make a fist kind of thing, like so. Okay? And of course the wrist bends down. Okay, so we're there like that. And that's what we're doing. You want to feel that pressure coming straight across those top two knuckles as you come in. And again, you don't have to do the whole thing while you're learning. Just have your hand up here at head height, like so, and just boom. just like that. Just like one of those Chinese cats, you know, these things. Like that. Make sure that you're getting the right angle. See, straight away, I can see there. In a fighting context, of course, you've got to adapt your body to what shape her body is in. But I would never be hitting, see, that's too much up. I want it to be kind of there, like 45 degrees. You would never be using this to hit like down directly. You wouldn't be able to bend your palm enough to get the knuckles to contact. If you wanted to hit down on something like that, you would of course use the heel palm, like maybe you're hitting down on top of the collarbone or something like that. So hold the mitt at about 45 degrees. Okay? You want to get the movement so it's in, and you feel that power go directly in. You'll see where my hand is ending. My hand's still ending down here, so it's clearly going this way through the mitt, but it's not doing this. See, that's, I don't know if you can notice that, but I'm brushing. The power's not going in. I'm doing this, you see. I'm just brushing the surface. I need to get the circle correct so the power still penetrates into the mitt. Is that all right on your neck? Yeah. Okay. And do it gently first. Very gentle. Feel the correct structure of the wrist, because your wrist is bent, but the power has to be traveling up through here, you see? So you won't hurt your wrist if you do it correctly. That's why we start off very gently with this one. And if it feels like, oh, no, that doesn't feel very nice, do not do it hard. This technique is a very advanced technique in terms of the wrist positioning. Think, okay, yeah, that's okay. That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. And you can see there, see how small it's becoming? I'm no longer doing it large, like in the Sansao. I start off nice and large. Oh yeah, to feel where the circle is, you see? This kind of thing. But then you've got to bring it from here, because that's where you're going to be fighting. You see, you don't have time to do this in a real fight. You're going to be tucked in here. Maybe you've just poked him in the eyes, he's moved back, whoom, and you come in from there. You drop it down. The beauty of this technique, like so, is that you can punch down without lifting your elbow up. If I want to hit down onto something, maybe say she's, I don't know, I've poked her in the eyes and you kind of leant back a little bit, like, get away from my eyes. See that? Look at that. That's the projection of what I want when I want to use this strike. It's leant back and I've got the ribs exposed because I've poked her in the eyes and she's moved back, something like that. So that's where I want to hit her. I can't hit her straight because it's going to glance. It's not going to go in. I need to get that angle going down into her body from that position. So I can either throw a normal punch, but that means I've got to lift my elbow up in line with the punch. This strike allows you, boom, to drop that in with downward force with the elbow. So from there, boom, straight in, rather than, boom. Just means it takes a fraction less time to give them a chance to, you know, recoil their body. It's a funny little strike, which most people aren't, never train. And of course, you can't do this at all when you're doing boxing or anything like that with the gloves on. But it really works nicely when you get it right. So, yeah, if you're practicing small Sansao, really make sure that you practice the mitt work of the strikes. Otherwise, you could be doing it for 5 years and then come to a class and be like, oh, gee, I still can't do the strikes. So really practice the strikes, particularly of your small Sansao. All right, that's just about, it's not just about, it's overtime. Look at me, forgetting what time it is. All right. Wait, I'm not there. Hang on. Here I am. This is me. All right, got a few more people with us now. Okay, who is up for some exercise? Yeah.
Let's do it.
Pardon?
Let's do it.
All right. Nick, you got a question?
Yeah, when you do that block, do you keep your weight in the front foot, or does your weight go with the block, or you?
It's one movement, so it's one gradual weight shift.
There you go.
Aye.
At the point that you hit his arm, you're going to
You're
be sort of
mid-back.
somewhere about halfway back, and then of course it just continues back as you turn. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, cool. All right.
Cool.
Was there another question? No? All right. Let's do some body strength stuff. Okay, let's go back to here.
I was struggling to. I'll just switch this off.
10 iPhone musicians. Okay. Just let me get my jumper off. It's getting a bit warm now. All right, let's start off with a bit of shoulder stuff. Since our shoulders are very nicely warmed up from all of those movements. And then we'll go into some leg stuff. I always prefer doing leg stuff. No, not always. I sometimes do legs first, but it's sort of, you'll get a bit more out of it if you do the shoulders first because it requires less energy. Do legs first and you're like, oh, geez, it requires more oxygen, more energy, and then you'd have enough energy left to put into your muscles and your shoulders. So, let's try some of these things to start with. Standing naturally. Stand over here, darling. We're going to be walking forward. So, sink down. Okay, and walk forwards. Remember, you can put your knees down at any point like this if you're finding it's too much pressure on your arms. Walk backwards. Walk forwards. Into a full plank. Tuck your pelvis under. Don't have your bum up in the air. Have it nice and down. And walk backwards. Walk forwards. Walk backwards. Walk forward with your hands out wide. So just take your hands, like at the moment they're about shoulder width, take them about the width of your palm on each side out. And do the same thing with your hands out wide. Back again. You'll feel the side of your core a little bit more engaged with this, with your hands out wide. One more. This time we're going to come to here and we're going to walk the feet in till you come to here, and then walk your hands back, sit down into a squat, adjust your t-shirt, back like so. Hang on, I've got a clip on this, maybe I should just clip it to my pants. Get on there. There we go. Okay. Right, so if you haven't done this one before, do one round with your bum on the ground. So you're going to go shuffle back, walk, walk. Shuffle. So there, see, you've got weight on the hands, but they're on both hands at the same time, you see. And notice I'm not sinking into my shoulders. I'm pushing down, lifting up, you see. Put the bum down, shuffle your feet in. See, I'm just shuffling my bum backwards. Boom, 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 boom. Let's go back the same way. So move your feet, hand, hand, move your bum. Foot, foot, hand, hand, move your bum. Foot, foot, hand, hand, move your bum. Foot, foot, hand, hand, move your bum. Now, you're going to push, 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 push until you're fully, if you can, get fully back into a squat position. If you can't, then just keep your hands behind you. Okay, second level. Remember, with each level, if you can't do the next level, just repeat the previous level. Same sort of thing, but this time, leave your feet where they are and just walk your body back with your bum off the ground the whole time. It's still down near the ground, but it's off the ground, okay? And then just walking back, just swishing your body side to side to get your weight over that hand and back in. Let's try that one more time. walking backwards and back, and shuffle it in. And at any point during this, you might go, oh, okay, I need to switch back to that first one. That's fine. Do what's comfortable to strengthen your own body. Okay, this time, the third level, come to here. Once you walk back just a little ways, you can't do it right at the beginning, of course. Walk back just till your bum starts sliding out, and then push your pelvis up. So you're in a nice bridge, okay? You might just push it to here. Just lift it as high as what you can manage. And then in that position, walk backwards, keeping your pelvis up till you're in a nice reverse plank position. And then again, shuffle your hands in, keeping your pelvis up. And then of course towards the end, your bum drops down and you come into here. Do one more of those or the other one. Keep your bum up or down, depending on where your strength levels lie. You might want to take a rest at the end and then go, okay, here we go. Lift it back up and waddle yourself back again. Shuffle your feet backwards and back into a plank. Walk your palms back. Drop your knees down, flatten your toes out and sit back. Stretch your ankles out, give your shoulders a bit of a rest. You can bend your wrists back the other way while you're resting if you want, just like so. Since you've been on your palms for a while. Okay, we're going to go back into a plank and then we're going to bring one foot forward. So, over to here, lift your body up. Let's bring our right foot forward. Can you just move a bit towards that side? Yeah, thanks. Okay, so bring your right foot up to the outside of your right palm, like the stretches we did earlier this morning. So my foot's turned out at 45 degrees. Okay, from this position, I'm simply going to turn my body, open it up to the side. You're putting as much weight as you can manage into that left arm, okay? So your leg is taking some of the weight, but you're trying to keep some weight in the left arm. Then we're going to bring it back, and again, thread your hand under your own elbow. So if I push my weight over towards my leg, that should be quite easy, because it's all the pressure's on my leg. If I push a bit more weight towards my arm, more difficult on the arm. So put it in the position where you're still working your arm, but not so hard you're going to strain something. Open it back out, thread it back through, open it back out, thread it back through, open it out, and back to center. Take your foot to the rear, take the other foot forward, do the exact same thing. Open it out, thread it through. Open it out, thread it through. This is really, really good for the stabilization of that shoulder, that one you've got the weight on. Back to center, bring your foot back, drop your knees, sit back and stretch your arms over your head. Just giving them a bit of a relax. And then take your hands to the rear so your shoulders completely relax. Give them a moment. We're going to do the same exercise again now, exactly the same one. Those of you who found that relatively easy, if you've got a strong shoulder, you're going to try to come into that position without the use of the leg. Okay? If you found that difficult already, do that same one again. Don't strain yourself. But if you found like, yeah, no, I've got a strong shoulder, good at doing push-ups and stuff, then you should be able to do the next level. So coming forward again. Okay, so exactly the same thing, just don't do the leg. Just open your body out, like so. Now you're going to thread the needle. You can drop a knee here if you need to, because the threading part here is the hardest part. So you might be okay with the side plank, perhaps, but as you come down you might go, oh no, I can't quite handle that. Just drop a knee and thread it through, you see? And then pick that knee back up, like so. If you can do it, of course, without dropping the knee, that's ideal. So you really feel the shoulder working to stabilize this movement. But you're stabilizing through lots of different positions rather than just holding a static plank. Okay, drop your knees, just rest one moment. Then we're going to do the other side, exactly the same thing. So again, you might want to try it like I've just done. Do the side plank with your feet back, but as you thread the needle, just drop your knee down to stabilize and take a bit of pressure off that shoulder if you're learning the technique. Okay, so coming back in again, feet up. You might want to also, with this one, because you don't have the stabilization of the other hand, you want to move your palm so that it's in line with where your feet are. Because if your palms are out too wide, you're going to be kind of at a funny angle. So the hand you're going to put your weight onto from that plank, bring it into the middle for when you open your body out, okay? And then thread it through, open it up, drop your knee if you need to. Don't be shy. Everyone's at a different level of strength. So don't feel like, oh, I'm the weak one in class if I can't do it without dropping the knee. You're the weak one in class if you don't drop your knee because your mind is weak, your ego is taking over. And back to center, drop the knees and relax. Again, just bend your wrist back the other way, give it a little massage if you want. Just relax it if you're not used to having so much pressure on the wrists for a long time. Okay, one more with that. I'm going to come forward again. Let's start with this one actually, and we'll go into it. I like doing it this way. So, starting to get the legs working a little bit, just like so. All you're going to do is kick one leg out to the side by leaning over that side and put your foot out. Okay? Notice the hips are closing. I'm not like this with the hips facing over here. My pelvis is facing down this way. Bring that in. You can either slide it along the ground and then just switch your feet and slide it along the ground. You're still using all these muscles even if you're sliding it. You see, bring it back in, switch your feet, slide it out, bring it back in, switch your feet, slide it out. See how the pelvis is turning away from the foot as you slide it out. Now if you can manage that okay, then try and do it without sliding the foot, or less sliding, less pressure on the floor. So see if you can do it with the foot off the ground. This is really nice for the, especially in the outside edge of your hips. Okay, now just rest for a moment. We're going to do it with a bit of a throw. You may need to put your fingertips behind you to maintain your balance as you do it. So try it with your hands behind you first. Just take one foot out to the side, as we've just done. See, this hand is now on the ground, stabilizing myself. I'm going to do the same thing that I've just done, but both legs together. Instead of going 1, 2, I'm going to bring this in and throw this out at the same time. You see? And now my other hand is on the ground, stabilizing. See, it's kind of like I'm throwing myself across a little bit. Whee, boom. Back to the other side. Whee, boom. Whee, whee. And then if you can get it, using your core without using your hands, then that's even nicer again. Okay, come into one side, mirror me, it will probably be easier, so let's all go this way. Put that palm on the ground. From this position with the knee on the floor, you're just going to lift your hips straight up in the air, like so. Your foot might drag a little bit the higher you get, but I've still got the knee on the floor to stabilize. Okay, then relax it down, lift it up. Relax it down, so you're engaging your core through the side, trying to keep as much weight on this long leg as you can. So yes, you've got this leg here to stabilize a little bit for a little bit of added support, but try and get more weight on this, you see, in here, as you're doing the movement. Switch to the other side, and again, try to keep as much weight as you can on that leg when you lift up. So this leg is just balancing me. Drop it down, lift it up, drop it down, lift it up. Notice I'm pushing my pelvis a little forward as I do it. Because of that knee being there, when I sit down, the shape is a little bit back compared to doing it without the knee. So I'm straightening my body up and down. Switch back to the other side. Now do exactly that again if you're finding that difficult. If you're not finding that too difficult, then come up to where we were, straighten out that leg, and then drop it down. You feel much more of a stretch happening now, and then lift it up. Down, up, down. You're getting your core working, your legs working, particularly your side delt working here. Back down, bring the knee in, and relax. Flick yourself around, whee, boom. Lift yourself up. Stay there if you wish, or extend that leg out, and then drop, stretch, lift it up, compress, drop it down, lift it up, drop it down, lift it up, drop it down, lift it up, and bring your knee in to relax. Okay, that'll do for the shoulders and core. Let's do some leg stuff. All right, so let's come up. All right, let's start off with full body, as in full legs. All the leg muscles get worked with this one. So, standing shoulder width, parallel, elbows to knees, down. Weight's going towards that knee, you're trying to lean down towards. Go as far, that might be okay, or if you can, get the knee to touch on the elbow. Bring it back up, other knee to other elbow. Touch, leaning forwards, squeezing the rear shoulder blade towards the spine, and the front hand is coming right across your body. So you're squeezing your pectorals and your inner shoulder here, squeezing it across your body, as your rear arm is of course squeezing the other way. So you've got one side really opening up, the other side really closing in, okay? Dropping that down. Breathe in as you come up. Breathe out. In, out. Most of the weight is down on that leg that you're touching. In breath, out breath, in breath, out breath. Be careful of your knees. If you've got anything wrong with your knees, then just take it easy. Do it as well as you can before you feel that pressure on that injury. Fran recently injured her knee, and so she's having to do most things like this a little easier. She can't go into a full squat at the moment because she's hurt her knee. So never exacerbate injuries. Let them heal. That doesn't mean sit around and do nothing. You know, you break your ankle, oh, I'll just sit on the couch for 6 weeks. Great. No, you still got your arms. You can still do a huge amount of exercise without using your ankle. All right, let's put the spiral on, or the pivot rather. So we're going to pivot on the toes. In case you haven't done it before, just lift your heels up. Pivot, so the standing leg will turn 135 degrees. That means from the front out to the rear corner towards where Fran is standing. So I'm going to pivot, drop the heel back down. Make sure you put that heel back on the floor. The rear foot is still on the ball of the foot, you see? And it's pivoted only about 45 degrees, just to where it feels most natural and comfortable in that position. Then you stand back up, boom, put the heels back down. Turn again to the other side. Both heels up, front heel down once it hits the corner. So when you're down in the full squat, your weight will still be in the front heel, not the ball of the foot. Spin it back to the front and reset. This time you're going to spin, touch the heel, then continue into that same movement we've just been doing. Exactly the same thing. It's just that you're spiraled as you're doing it. Bring it back up. Now, if you find that too difficult, if you've got really something wrong with your knees, anything like that, just repeat the previous stage again. Okay, pivot and sink it down. You'll feel it much more in that glute now. Bring it back up and down. Bring it back up and down. Bring it back up and down. Okay, third stage, just a little lower. Try to touch your knee on the ground. Again, only if you can manage it. Don't do it if it feels like you're going to damage something. So coming down, just going a little bit further to touch that knee on the floor, and then come up. Always do the stage which is healthy for your body, ready for your level. Notice that I'm not placing any weight into that rear knee. I'm just tapping it on the floor, bring it straight back up, tapping it, bring it straight back up again. I'm not relaxing my body to put the weight in that knee and give myself a rest before I come back up again. Okay, keep that going. We're going to keep that going like that. That's stage 2. If you can do stage 3, try stage 3. But if not, just stay at that stage 2. Again, listen to your own body. Stage 3 is quite difficult. You should only do this if you really know your own body. So you're not going to put adverse pressure on your knee joints by doing it incorrectly. Okay, so listen to your own body. If you feel anything not comfortable, just stick with stage 2. Okay, so same thing again. Pivoting, coming down, but I'm dropping my bum onto the ground. And then pivoting back up to here, coming down, so the knee touches first, and then the bum sits down on the floor, and back up, down. Again, do not feel bad if you can't do that. It takes years of training to be able to do that. So unless you've been doing something for a long time, you probably can't do it. Up. Requires extreme mobility, strength, and control of that strength. All right, that'll do for that one. Okay, let's do an open squat to finish. Okay, let's start with 1 and 2s, and then we'll do a 1. Or will I give you that one? Yeah, I could give you that one today. All right, so let's start just in a nice open stance, like so, about double shoulder width. Again, how wide you have it will depend on how low you're going to go. So if you feel like it's too short, just lengthen it. If you feel like it's too long and you feel like you're out here, suck it back in again. Just feel out, but as a rough guide to start with, about double shoulder width works quite nicely. Turn your foot out, drop your knee towards your, this is not a knee, this is an elbow. Drop your elbow towards your knee. Okay, sink down, keep this leg straight, or like just slightly softened, but you know, more or less straight. Sink down. See, if you get here and you feel like, oh, I can't go any further, my weight's going on my toe. Okay, you need to lengthen your stance. You need to lengthen it out a bit more. Sink down maybe just to here. Turn your foot back in, turn the other foot out. And again, elbow towards the knee, sinking down. Notice I'm keeping my body facing you, pelvis particularly. I'm not closing it in, keeping it open, just to there. Bring it back in, turn the foot in, turn the other foot out. If you can go lower till your knee touches the ground. See, so I'm nice in a straight line kind of thing through here. Bring it back up, turn the foot in, turn the foot out, elbow to knee. Like you're just having a rest there, you see. Up, turn it out, elbow to knee. Keep it open, keep your hips facing the front. Everything's facing to the front. The pelvis is not facing exactly to the front, but it's as open as it will be. So this hip is fully open. That's what we want. This hip, so the pelvis is maybe a little bit closed this way, but see now this hip is not open. I want the hip opened up, but not so much that the knee caves in. Okay? Turn it in, turn it out, sink it down. Turn it in, turn it out, sink it down. Turn it in, turn it out, sink it down. Turn it in, turn it out, sink it down. One more on the other side. Up and relax. We want to have strong this bits in here. Strengthen that in there. Very important for everything, especially all your Taiji stuff. Okay. It's also strengthening the outer side of your glutes rather than just doing a front squat where it's more the gluteus maximus. Now we're doing more the minimus and medius area that support the hips coming around here that help to externally rotate the knee. So if ever you've got these problems with saggy knees bending in off the toes, that's those muscles pulling it to open it up, to keep the hips open. So squats like this will really help with that. Not only, it'll set you up for doing things like snake creeps down later on in your form practice. Okay. Again, about double shoulder width. Listen to your own body as to exactly how wide, but a roughly double shoulder width. Both your feet now are out at 90 degrees, okay? 45 degrees each, 90 degrees in total. So facing the corners. Sink your weight straight down through the front. Be careful here. Listen, keep your knees pointed out where your toes are facing. Sink down, maybe put your palms on the ground. If you feel this happening, you can't do the squat. Never do a posture incorrectly. Just sit down. You can use your elbows here a little bit to keep your knees open to help you support the posture. You shouldn't have to. You should have strong enough glutes to hold them open, but if you need something extra, just put your elbows in here. Okay, now shift your weight to one side, just a little bit. Shift your weight to the other side, just a little bit. Put your palms on the ground if you need to. See, I can take some weight either on my fists or on my fingers if my fingers are strong enough. So see now, just taking 20 kilos or so on your fingers, it helps you still do the movement, but not quite 100% of your weight. If you can get them off the ground, then great. Notice I'm turning my body towards the unweighted leg. See, I'm turning over to this leg now. I'm turning over here. My body is, of course, leant forward in this movement. Back over to here. Back over to here. And back over to here. Now lift up onto the toe of that standing leg. So I'm lifting the heel up off the ground. Straighten that leg out. Sink down onto it like we did this morning. Just stretching through there. Stretching through your hamstring. Bend your leg now and continue that stretch. Swish your body to the other side. Again, come up onto the toe of that standing leg. You can see my foot under my baggy pants. So I'm up on the toe again. Stretch it out. Now, of course, if you can't do this position, like Fran's got her dodgy knee, so she can't do this position right now. Notice she's just sat on the floor with her leg out. So she's still getting the same stretch happening. She's just doing it from a seated position rather than an up position. So if you're feeling dodgy knees or you just can't do the posture for some reason, yeah, just be careful. Listen to your body and go into something a little less strenuous. Okay, so bending the knee now, stretching into that muscle. Back to the front and standing up. And we're done. Sure. How did you manage that? Was that okay?
Yeah, it was really good.
Good. What about you, Maya? Did you find that
Yeah.
all right? Yeah.
I like the floor work.
Yeah. Yeah, those are my favorite bits. I really enjoy those. Were you able to do all of those movements?
Yeah, just at the end, just the last squat, my legs really hurted. So
Okay. Yeah.
I'm glad it's finished.
Yeah. How about you, Marianne?
Now, I had a few lessons from the video from Pilates.
Okay.
I recognized the shoulders, but your exercises are too difficult for me. So
Okay.
I must look what I heard tomorrow. I
Yeah.
must move my body, and
Yeah.
then I can do it. I have to adjust, but especially my shoulders and my wrists are very not so strong.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But I manage. I adapt.
That's right.
Yeah, it's good.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was once going to a yoga class for a while, and I'd injured my shoulder at the time, and I had to modify almost all the movements. But you know, that's the problem. Sometimes if you're a complete beginner, you don't know how to modify it. But as you say, you've done some Pilates and things, so you're like,
now,
okay.
Only from the video. Pilates is more for my body than yoga. Yoga I'm not so supple. So Pilates is more, and then you work on your structure, and that is more my thing. So maybe a half year from now, I can do the.
Yeah, cool.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I think I've never actually done a Pilates class myself, but Franz, you've done Pilates, haven't you? And she's always really enjoyed the Pilates stuff. It looks good to me. I like the look of it. I like the look of what they do.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right. Well, you all have a fantastic Saturday, and I might see you Sunday morning for some nice lazy 8 a.m. start. Nice lazy sleep-in morning training. If not, I'll see you the following week.
Okay. Thank you.
Cool. Bye-bye. Have a good day.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.